All right, guys, good morning and welcome back to your 7th SEL Thursday lesson. The theme of our lesson today is going to be helping us understand why. But before we do that, let's go ahead and check in with each other. I want you to think about this question. What is one thing you are looking forward to? It could be something that you're looking forward to today, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, whatever that might be. What is one thing you are looking forward to? Teachers, I want you to also remember this is something that you too can participate in. So before you go ahead and set your timer, go ahead and remind your classes, in person and virtual, what your expectations are for timekeepers and talking pieces, or however you do that. And then let's answer this question. Pause for 5 minutes and come back when the time is up. All right, guys, welcome back. So like I said, the theme for today is help me understand why. Before we get into that, let's recap what we have been doing the last couple of weeks. So we have spent some time back at the beginning talking about what SEL actually is, all the different components of social emotional learning, and we have started with self-awareness, and we have spent some time figuring out why it's important to be able to name our emotions and how that can impact us here at school, but also outside of school. After that, we went a little bit further, and we have spent a lot of time practicing, discussing what color might describe how we feel. We have identified the word that would describe how we feel within that color, and we even went a little bit into talking about behaviors that we show as students and teachers whenever we are feeling red or yellow or blue or green. And by doing that, we have learned some information. So we have learned that our emotions give us information about ourselves and about others. And we have also learned that emotions impact us in some certain ways. So a few ways that emotions impact us is they impact our ability to pay attention, they impact our memory, and they also impact our learning. Our emotions also impact the decisions that we make, whether that may be a positive decision or a negative decision. And our emotions also give us the ability to form and maintain or keep positive relationships. So now that we have recapped the last several weeks, what we're going to do now is we're going to pause for 6 minutes. And this is going to be your turn, students and teachers, to describe how you're feeling right now in this moment. So you're going to take 6 minutes, you're going to share your color, you're going to share the word, and we're not going to have you share yet why you may be feeling that way. Just do the color and the word this time. So timekeepers, set your timer for 6 minutes, and then come back when you are ready. All right, so now that you are back, the next step to this whole process is learning how to understand the why, the reason behind maybe you are feeling red or the reason why you are feeling yellow, blue, or green. Sometimes it's easy for us to be able to explain why we are one of those colors, but other times we might be caught off guard and we don't know what that reason is. So there is a process we can go through to figure out why we are feeling red, yellow, blue, or green. Whenever we can begin to understand why we feel that way, we can begin to learn how to handle those feelings appropriately. And ideally, we'll be able to learn how to respond to our emotions instead of reacting. So let's get into that. So we're going to go back and we're going to look at the different color quadrants one at a time. And this time we're going to start with yellow. So in just a second, you're going to have a conversation with your class again, and you're going to think back to a time when you remember feeling yellow, and you're going to talk about what the reason was for you feeling yellow. Usually, whenever we have these yellow feelings of excitement or happiness, it's because something positive has happened. It may even be because you're looking forward to something. So go ahead and pause the video, set your timekeeper for 5 minutes, and discuss what was a reason why you were feeling yellow at some point, and then come back. All right, we're going to move on to the next color. Okay, this is going to be the same question for red. So whenever you pause this video for 5 minutes, you're going to be thinking back to a time when you remember feeling red and what the reason was for that. Remember that red quadrant has those big, strong, not so good feelings, like when you're angry or afraid or worried. So go ahead and pause the video for 5 minutes, have that conversation about what was the reason why you felt red in the past, and then come back to the video. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the blue quadrant of our mood meter, and you're going to be answering the same question again. Remember, this blue quadrant describes those feelings that we have whenever we are sad. It also describes the feelings that we have sometimes whenever we don't care anymore about something. That's called apathy, whenever you just don't care anymore. It also describes whenever you are tired, and I'm not talking about sleepy tired. I'm talking about when maybe you are overwhelmed and just tired. You are done. All right? So think back to a time when you felt blue. Talk about what the reason was for that, and then come on back. All right, and the last quadrant is the green quadrant on the mood meter. The green quadrant is a place where our feelings may have us feeling at ease or calm or safe. Whenever you are feeling green, you don't have a reason to kind of have your guard up and to protect yourself emotionally. You are at peace and you are content and you feel secure. So think back to a time when you were one of those feelings and what was the reason that had you feeling green. Pause the video for 5 minutes and then come on back. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. So we just spent some time looking at the different quadrants on the mood meter, and we are getting a little deeper into figuring out why we may feel different colors at different times. Understanding why we feel this way is sometimes easy, but it can also be hard. If we can get to the point where we are able to understand why we feel these certain colors, we're going to become better friends, students, teachers, and family members.